everyone. Welcome to Special Grade Snacks, the Jujutsu Kaisen watch-along podcast. I'm Sara.
And I'm Kay.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Feeling regular about these episodes?
They were the most normal episodes I've ever seen of the show.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over the information of the episodes, but if you haven't seen them, you probably don't even need to watch these ones, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. You can. These are skippables to me.
Okay. We will start with Jujutsu Kaisen episode 11. This one is called Narrow-Minded. We'll have to watch out for who we think is narrow-minded, because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes he tricks you with these titles. Alright, well this episode starts with how the last episode ended, which is Mahito's feet. Just in case you had forgotten about his tricky foot trick.
Mahito just got him, and he's got energy.
He's got toes. Damn. And he's got toes?
He does have toes.
He's got hooves and he's got toes? Alright. But Nanami is doing his special move where he takes off his necktie and he increases his power somehow. He's
got a time-based pact. He's less...
Mahito's says, wow, a time-based pact. I don't know what this means.
It's like, they'll get into this more later. This isn't really spoilers, but they'll talk about this, I think, next season probably. There's the thing called heavenly restriction, which is this is one of the reasons that for example Maki's ability to use cursed weapons is so strong. She is restricted from actually using or even seeing cursed energy, and she gives it up in exchange for that power, basically that strength. So Nanami's heavenly restriction is that from 9 to 5 I will be cringe, but after that is over I will be based and overtime pilled.
I don't really understand it, but I just allow it to occur.
They'll explain. You will hear the words of heavenly restriction.
Okay, and then Nanami says, "Let me explain to you how my power works."
Mm-hmm. And he says, "I can do this to an apple."
Yeah, he's an apple or a plane or something else, like a car or something. He can 7 to 3 objects as well as people, and your arm or your foot or such a thing. And then he does it to a wall. He says, ratio technique collapse.
First Mahito says, omoshiroi, and jumps down and is like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, he wants to do a fight. But yeah. Nanami doesn't really want to do a fight. He's like, there's 2 ways I can win here. I can, make him use up all his energy. There's no way I can do that. Or I can do one really big move and hope that it kills him and run away.
Mm-hmm.
So he does his big move, he attacks a wall, and then there's, gravel falling on him, on Mahito.
Yeah, he hits the wall at the 7 to 3 point, which causes it to explode, and all the chunks that explode out are, imbued with curse energy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Mahito's like, oh, I should dodge this, and then Nanami chops his leg so he can't, and then runs away.
He says, hey, I hope you survive this one, bro. If we do, let's meet again someday. And there's a shot when Nanami walks right past Mahito, and it looks like there's if you freeze it right, you posted this the other night.
Yeah, I froze it right.
You did freeze it right, and it looks like they might go in for a kiss, which is
yeah, it's the traditional anime thing of when 2 characters are crossing paths, they their faces get really close to each other, and you're like, what? And then they just walk by each other. Mm-hmm. But in a murder scenario. Nanami does say, if you survive, let's meet again, which isn't very Nanami-ish, I don't think. But it is what he said. That's the end of that. And then we go to the most important part of the show, which is...
the anime opening.
No. Well, it is what happens, but that's not what I'm referencing. Skipping the entrance, we go to Itadori and Junpei are hanging out at the little Japanese river thing.
Mm-hmm.
The traditional, very, very small river.
And Itadori's like, did you just feel the earth shake? And Junpei was like, yeah, it was a magnitude 2, which is, I like the fact that Junpei is just diagnosing earthquake magnitudes.
I diagnosed you with magnitude 2, yeah. So Itadori has gotten Junpei to interrogate him, basically, but he's calling Ijichi on the phone and he's not answering, because he's very busy trying to catch the little gremlin that they released.
Yeah.
So Itadori's like, I think that I can do this. I'll question Junpei. And he's like, hey, did you, at the movie theater on that day, see anything evil like this little guy that I have? And Junpei says no. And Itadori says, I trust you implicitly. Yeah, so Junpei has a flashback during this where he's like, Mahito showed him a button. Who knows where he got that? But he said, if you see anyone with this swirly button, it means that they're a friendly jujutsu sorcerer, and I think you should be friends with them.
Where did he get that button? My brain's been, like, picking at that for a while. Like, there's...
How about this? From Ghetto, obviously. He went to the school, right?
Ah, your mind. I had never considered that. I was like, who is the poor Jujutsu high schooler who we never saw Mahito ice to get that button? But no, it's definitely Ghetto.
Yeah. He's up to something. We'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very suspicious of Ghetto. Anyway, Junpei's like, I don't know why Mahito would want me to be friends with a Jujutsu sorcerer when he's clearly fighting them, but I guess I'll do this. And Itadori sits down and he's like, well, can you wait for my boss to get here and ask you questions too? And Junpei's fine with this.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, sure, I can chill. He won't be long. You seem polite. I will be. I have to make friends. My boss said I have to make friends with you, so.
So I guess I will. Do you like movies? What movie were you seeing that day?
This is such a...
It's very cute. They just, like, talk about movies they like for a few minutes.
It's really sweet.
Yeah. Junpei's like, it's an old movie. You wouldn't have heard of it. He's, like, a big movie snob. And Itadori's like, actually, I saw that one and it was boring.
Yeah. I love the face he makes. Because Junpei is like, it was Human Earthworm 3, and Itadori was like, oh, that one was super boring.
I got punched because of that one a lot.
Yeah. and Junpei's just like, you got hit because of movies?
Yeah. Because of Human Earthworm 3? When 2 is the best one?
Yeah, and he's like...
There's like a whole scene of like a scene from the movie.
Right, he's the co-host of Fear Baiting because he's just like, maybe it's on us for expecting so much from a slasher film, but, you know, Human Earthworm 2 was like actually a good movie, though. Like
he says, I had to watch it 3 times so I could understand why it was good.
And he's like, oh, the gore was so much. And he's always like, bro, why did you do that to yourself?
You don't have to watch a yucky movie if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like watching this scene, like trying to find a metaphor in it. I don't think there is one.
Yeah, because like when we saw Human Earthworm 3 in the movie theater earlier,
there was big metaphor. There was big metaphor.
But this one's talking about like the perfectionist.
Yeah, a perfectionist. Yeah, I was like, I don't know who that would be in the context of this show.
He's analyzing movie.
Yeah, he just is a big movie liker.
He's a big movie guy.
Yeah, and Itadori's like, I've been watching a lot of movies recently for a certain reason. But I haven't gone to the theater in a while. Why don't you take me to the theater next time there's a movie you want to see?
Uh-huh.
And we get that big, big blushie that we all been waiting for.
We get the big blusheroo because Junpei has just been Itadori just said, hey bro, take me on a date. Give me your number.
Here's my phone. Put your number in.
Yeah, and Geto walks by with with a hoodie on. He's like, excellent. Everything, all according to Keikaku.
Don't look at their date, you creep.
And right before this scene, Itadori is like holding the fly head with one hand, and have you ever seen that gif of like the big dog from the Tom and Jerry cartoons?
Yeah, with the little
holding the little cat and just like stroking his chin.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
The fly head definitely has like a phallic head.
It totally does. It looks like Gojo's drawing of penis.
It's dickhead to me.
Dick butt, dick head.
Yeah, so anyway, Junpei's hot mom walks by.
Yep, MILF rights.
At first I thought this was like Geto had done transfiguration to himself and become Junpei's mom or something.
That would be pretty funny.
But I guess it's just his regular mom happened to walk by. And she has a green onion. And Itadori says, you're not the type of woman who should have a green onion. And she says, well, thank you for noticing. I'm trying to not be the type of woman who would have green onion.
It's such a nothing conversation, but I love it so much.
I like that he's immediately vibing with his mom.
Yeah, and the vibes continue.
Oh yeah, she's smoking a cigarette and Junpei's like, Mom, I told you. He's like very dramatic and she's like, oh yeah, I said not to smoke in front of you, so I won't. And then she stops.
Yeah.
This is because of his trauma. This is because of his extreme trauma.
In the manga, he like literally takes the cigarette out of her hands.
It's very funny how like Junpei is a very serious character, a very serious teenage boy.
Uh-huh.
And his mom is just like, oh, ha ha ha, you silly boy. I'm just your sexy mom.
Yep. Junpei's mom is like, "Hi, I'm Junpei's mom. Who are you?" And are you his friend? And Itadori is like, "We just met, but I think we could become friends." And
It's very cute.
Junpei's mom is like, "That's nice. Hey, come over for dinner." And Junpei's like, "Don't fucking now you're being annoying, mom. Don't be cringe." And then his mom's like, "Oh, are you saying my cooking is cringe?" And then Itadori stumble just like yells, grumble, grumble,
Yeah,
grumble.
he's hungry. He's very hungry.
He's so hungry.
So they say, okay, you can come for dinner.
Yeah.
And now we see Geto doing evil plots again.
Yeah, Geto walks into the sewers where the rubble collapsed that crushed Mahito and definitely 100% killed him, and he does a mildly sexual whistle.
He whistles! Wow! If I could whistle, I would whistle. But he says, woo!
Wait, you can't
He's
whistle?
very impressed, yeah. No?
Oh, I got you. Here, cue me up and I'll hit you with it.
Okay, go. No, that was close enough. That was good enough. That was about how it is. If you really need to know how it is, you can just
Watch the episode. But like we said, you don't really have to watch these. These are inconsequential.
The important thing to know about this scene is that Geto is not wearing his traditional, very elaborate yukata, but instead he's wearing a raincoat and pants.
He's just wearing a raincoat and pants, and Mahito... you tell that.
And Mahito is wearing nothing at all.
Mahito slithers out of the rubble. He turns into a worm and slithers out of the rubble.
I don't even know if I can call it a worm. He just turns into like a flesh tube with hair.
He does. He changes the shape of his soul to be a shape of his soul that can escape from a pile of rubble, and
yeah, just a cylinder shape.
basically, you know how in remember the TV show of Alex Mack about the girl who could turn herself into a puddle of silver?
No.
He basically does that,
Well, good for him.
except for it's flesh instead of silver.
Yeah. And then he like becomes human and he's naked.
Yep.
And he says, Geto, get me some clothes. And Geto says no. He's in charge and you will be naked now. You forfeit right to clothes.
And Mahito says he's like, wow, I learned a lot of stuff from fighting that guy. And then he reveals that, like, half the shit he did in that fight was, like, completely just, like, what if I did this on the spot? Like...
Yeah, Mahito is baby curse. We all know. And Nanami says this a little later, but, like, I guess he's, like, brand new curse just out. And he doesn't know, like, how to transform and stuff. And he's like, oh, next time I fight, I'm going to transform a lot. Because it was cool.
Yeah, and he follows through on that, asked and answered in the next episode.
It's true, yeah.
And then he makes his finger a knife.
Yeah, he does make his finger a knife, which lets you know that he doesn't just have to be, like, deer or worm.
Yeah, he can be things that are non-organic.
Which implies that, like, non-organic things have souls?
You know what? That's a good point. maybe Mahito has less of a grasp on the human soul than he actually thinks he does.
Yeah, that's kind of my suspicion. Anyway, we see Ajichi now, and he's in the car. He has caught his little creature, but he's very concerned that he's going to be in trouble because...
Right, because he's like, oh, you're on a date with that kid? What? Dude!
You can't be on a date with him. He might murder you. You have to leave his house if anything seems weird.
Yeah.
And Midori's like, yeah, whatever, bye. And Ajichi like, Gojo won't be mad at me about this, but Nanami, the adult of adults, will yell at me and I will cry.
In the manga, he calls him Mr. Mature.
Damn, that's what I call him. And then Ijichi's like, okay, I just have to go pick up Itadori before Nanami finds out. And then Nanami calls him.
Because he says, like, you don't want to cry in front of other people at your age, right? And was this when we learned that Ijichi is 27 Christian years old?
Ijichi's 26. He's
26?
He's Kohai.
He's so young. He's so old.
He looks so fucking old. The stress of his job is killing him. He needs to learn from Nanami and make it 9 to 5 only.
I wish he was like a bit more of a believable age. I don't know why Gege said that. Yeah, this guy's 26. Like I think Ijichi is like, I guess it doesn't change much because I still like the character, but I think Ijichi's design is like it's way cuter if this is like a 30-something-year-old man who is just doing this job.
I like that he's Kohai. I would like if he looked a little younger.
Okay, we're experiencing dissatisfactions with him, but in opposite directions.
Anyway, Nanami is being sexual on the phone.
Yeah, Nanami is sexually healing from a wound.
Yeah, he's bleeding in a bathroom, and he says, you need to come pick me up so that my friend Shoko can heal my wounds. Mm-hmm. But it's not a big deal. I definitely won't die of it. But I do need help right now. Come get me. And Ijichi says, okay, I just have to pick up Itadori, then I'll come get you. And Nanami says, "You don't have Itadori." And that's the end of that scene.
Yep.
Nanami, like, thinks of his thoughts about Mahito, like, oh, he's baby.
Yeah. He just came out and he's just learning to do the other special grade curses that Gojo found. Those guys can do their domain. So this guy learns fast. He's probably not that far from doing a domain of his own.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad if Mahito did a domain.
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't happen.
It will not. Me eating cereal.
I'm biting my cereal and I'm saying this guy will never learn how to do domain expansion. Yeah, okay, so Itadori is on his date with Junpei and Junpei's mom.
Yep.
And Junpei's mom is drunk. And she says, "Itadori, you're the funniest little boy in the world. You're the funniest boy I've ever met." Because Itadori is telling, like, a flashback story about how, like, in elementary school or something, some kid thought a noodle was an invasive parasite, and he, like, ate it.
Yeah, because it was just a konnyaku noodle.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but it did look pretty yucky. So I can see why you would think it was a grub.
But I also want to say, this flashback of Itadori picking up the noodle, the story is in the manga, but we don't get the flashback of baby Itadori. We have seen in the manga, we have seen baby Fushiguro and baby Kugisaki. We have not seen baby Itadori yet. This is the first time we have seen Itadori baby just out, freshly out the water.
He's pink baby. He's pink in baby form.
His hair is dyed pink, which means that his grandpa did do his hair dye for him.
It's very cute. So Itadori does this funny joke for Junpei's mom, and Junpei's like, "Mom, you're being cringe." But then Itadori does a funny joke for Junpei, and he likes it a lot.
Yeah, she said she hands him like a platter and is like, "Here, Itadori, you're so funny. Do something funny with this." And
you're the joke man. Do a joke for me.
Junpei says, "Mom, you're being so cringe." And then Itadori does Wilson from Castaway.
And Junpei spits his drink because he gets the reference.
Yeah, and Itadori's mom is like, "Oh, is that from a movie? I don't get it."
I'm not movie liker.
I'm not movie enjoyer like my son.
So Itadori's having a great time. He gets a call from Ajichi, who's like, "Are you dying?" He says, "I'm gonna come pick you up right away." And Itadori says, "No, but we're gonna watch a movie. Come on. It'll be 2 hours." And Ajichi, like, screams on the phone, 2 hours? But he hangs up on him.
Yep.
And then Junpei has another, like, sad flashback about his life, where he's like, "Oh, I was skipping school, and my mom said, school is cringe, so it's fine with me. Isn't that cool of me?" She says school is a tiny aquarium.
I like it.
I wonder if this means something.
She says, "School is just one small fish tank. There are other tanks out there, even the ocean. Choose what you think is best." And then she, like, pats herself on the back for it.
Yeah, she says, "Damn, wasn't that a cool quote by me, your mom?"
I am euphoric, not because of some silly god, but because whatever, and then just attributing the quote to herself.
We like his mom.
Yeah.
For as long as we know her.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
Yeah, the Gege Akutami said, "Hey, here's a MILF. You love her."
I do. I'm killing her now. Oh no.
Not yet.
I mean, it's pretty soon.
It is pretty soon, but we have to have Junpei Itadori.
Yeah, Junpei is setting up the movie date, and he says, "Hey, you're a Jujutsu sorcerer, right? Have you ever killed anyone?"
Well, first Junpei is like, "Hey, what's your mom like?" And Itadori's like, "Oh, I never met my parents. I just had my grandpa."
Oh, this is normal. Junpei, like, doesn't have anything to say to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would you say to that, honestly?
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
They're pausing their movie date because Junpei has to be like, "Yo, bro, what if you have to kill someone?"
Yeah, and Itadori has, like, a very strong opinion about this. He says, "If I killed anyone, then the option of killing would force its way into my life. Like, if you have the option of killing people, then you, like, lose your sanctity for life, and then you, like, can't even properly love the people that you care about in your life because you don't care about them the right way anymore."
Yeah.
And Junpei is like, "Damn, this is deep."
The thing that this, like, resonated with for me, this is a stupid thing to connect it to, but, like, this is the exact same way I feel about using, like, walkthroughs in a video game. Like, the first time I used the walkthrough, I have now opened the door to the idea of using the walkthrough. Like, I'm looking up a solution to a Professor Layton game, and now I've looking up solution to puzzles has found its way into my life.
I have, like, stopped playing puzzle games because I couldn't solve the puzzle, but I didn't want to look it up.
God, no, it cannot be me. I'm always getting to the end of it.
Anyway, Junpei, they don't really show like them watching the movie or even Itadori leaving, but Junpei is like thinking about their conversation later in bed. He's like, damn, I really wanted to kill people, but if it would mean that I can't love my mom, then I don't want to kill anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure that this won't happen later. I'm sure that Junpei's mom loving him being the only thing stopping him from doing murder won't be a problem.
Right. He says, I was given power, but if killing someone means my soul is stained, then I can't do murder. And then he goes to Sleepy.
He goes to Sleepy, and then his mom wakes up because she passed out drunk at the kitchen table.
Yep.
And she says, huh, Fingy? Who put this here?
Yeah. And behind her we see this really weird looking curse. It's got big lips, it's got fat titties, it's got just like a swirling miasma of hands at the bottom. And a thing I noticed on the third time that I watched this episode was that right before it goes to the eye catch, we see one of the hands grab the leg of her chair.
Yeah, it's just like a yucky blob monster.
Yucky blob monster. Huge titties, though.
Very blobby. Yeah, and then back from the break, which is pretty late in the episode, actually, we get another, like, report type thing about how they found dead mom.
Yeah.
They say they found her after the school incident that's about to happen. So they found her after that, and they found her in her bed with no bottom half, but a bunch of ice packs, which I feel like implies Junpei found her dead in the kitchen and, like, tried to help her.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly tragic.
It is. I was going to make a bad joke about how the curse monster ate her pussy so good that her bottom half fell off, but now I feel disrespectful doing it.
Yeah, her son found that, Sarah. How dare you?
Listen,
her son found her with her ass ate completely off.
Sometimes you just gotta get your pussy ghouled.
No, you can't, because then your son goes apeshit.
Getting your pussy absolutely goblined.
Terrible. So anyway, Nanami and Itadori are talking like, Itadori's like, oh, Nanami, you got hurt. You shouldn't have gone without me. And Nanami's like, no, you're baby. You can't come with me.
Right. Itadori is like, so what? Am I going to just say my partner got killed because I wasn't there because I'm just a kid? And then Nanami says some good stuff here. I like this stuff from Nanami.
Yeah. Nanami says being a child is not a sin, which is correct.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he says, there's going to be a time in your life that you're going to have to kill someone, but this isn't it yet, so don't come with me.
Yeah, and I find it very resonant of what Gojo said to Shoko right when he was like, hey, can you just keep this kid like dead officially on the records for a little bit longer? And then he says, I don't want to rob this kid of some of the best times of his life as a kid.
Yeah. Baby get to be baby.
You have to be baby for a bit.
But Junpei is not getting to be baby, it seems. We see Junpei is doing his epic mourning, where he goes in his mom's closet and puts on her black coat that looks regular, I guess. And then we see that Mahito, like, came to his house while he was crying about his mom, and he was, like, giving him a snuggle, and he's like, well, this is, like, an evil twisted finger that causes a curse to come to your house. Rich people who are mean can pay for curse wizards to curse people. Can you think of anyone rich and mean? And he's like, damn, I know who.
Mahito is just like, damn, bro, I don't know who could have done this. Like, I know I just introduced you to the world of curses like a week ago, but like, really, I got no idea. Do you know anyone who knows anything about curses?
What if it's someone who's been mean to you your whole life instead of me who's been evil for like a week?
I couldn't be evil. I made Big Chungus. Who else could it be?
I'm your friend who lives in the sewer, Junpei. I would never kill your mom, even though you told me to my face that if someone killed your mom, it would make you really mad. I wouldn't do that, because you said that.
Yeah. Listen, bro, I respect you. I respect you in your mom-loving moments.
I would never tell a big blob creature to eat your mom's ass.
until it falls off.
Bro, look me in my two mismatched eyes. Look how normal I am. I would never kill your mom.
You need to trust me, bro. We are just teens. We are holding hands. You need to trust me. I did not kill your mom.
Bro, we're friends. Remember when you came to my hammock in the sewer? And you were really, really scared of me and I seemed really intimidating? I wouldn't kill your mom.
I would never do anything to your mom. I respect your mom. I listen, Junpei, as long as you have known me, have you ever known me to disrespect a MILF?
Have you ever seen me kill a person? Junpei, I wouldn't do your mom like this.
Like, I would not have killed your mom. I would have just tried to make her into either Big Chungus, parentheses living, or small, parentheses living.
Junpei.
Junpei, bro, trust me. Anyways, go kill this Ito guy.
You need to trust me on this one. It was not me.
Please, Abraham, I am not that man.
And Junpei says, okay, I trust you implicitly.
Yeah. He says, Mahito, I'll sanction everything you do.
So we see Junpei's school where I guess everyone is rude. And there's one of the rude boys who did not explode at the movie theater, but he was a mean man from Junpei's flashbacks. Uh-huh. And he's getting an award for best writing. And everyone's like, damn, he's sexy and he's smart and he's rich. This is crazy. And then like we see like the runner-up guy, the rude boy punches him and he's like, why'd you write my essay so good, you stupid idiot? Now I get an award. And
he's like, now you're just a runner-up. And he laughs about it, but in the manga he literally says, and you're just a runner-up, parentheses, lol.
I'm not laughing anymore. I'm only saying out loud, parentheses, lol.
Yeah. He does say you got a death wish, so it's reasonable that like he is threatening. So it's reasonable for Junpei to make this assumption that this guy who is the only Wikipedia entry on guys who made other guys at my school eat a bug. And so Junpei's like, well, this guy probably killed my mom.
Yeah, it's completely reasonable for Junpei to think this, as we went over for a full minute.
Right.
Anyway, Mahito and Geto are here at the school, and they're doing a veil, I guess.
Yeah.
Mahito casts veil of no one with powers gets in, except for if I want them to, I guess.
Yeah.
And Geto says, good job. He says, I can't afford to leave any residuals of me behind, which is suspicious to me.
Yeah, listen, they can't know he's been there.
You can't know about... The one thing you gotta know about Geto is you can't know about him.
Yeah. You cannot... that Tumblr post, has anyone seen this man? He was in my dreams last night. He's Melman.
So anyway, Geto also talks to Mahito about, like, yeah, that was my finger that we left in there, in case you hadn't realized. And Mahito's like, is it okay that we're just gonna let the Jujutsu Tech guys get another finger? And Geto's like, yes, this is part of my ploy. Don't question it. I'm definitely not up to no good.
Yeah.
But against you, the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on your side.
Mahito lays out his plan and explicitly refers to the moment where where Itadori said, hey, bro, give me your phone number. He refers to that moment as Junpei landing Sukuna's vessel.
Damn, we're so proud.
Given the homophobia of the one of the translators on staff, I'm glad that line was made gayer than it was in the manga.
Damn, you landed that vessel.
Because in the manga, he just says the moment Junpei met Sukuna's vessel.
Well, they had already met, but then they became boyfriends.
Right.
One date. Parentheses, one date. Not yet kissed.
Mahito lays out his plan. Is like, okay, so here's my plan. We're gonna make Itadori make a binding vow with Sukuna, and then Geto says, "I wish Jogo were as level-headed as you." And Mahito says, "He's honest and cute in his own way."
Yeah.
And in the manga, there's like a little chibi drawing of Geto's head Jogo's head exploding.
So no head?
No head. Remember how Gojo ripped that man's head off? He's just head.
So just head?
Just head?
Remember when they did Brazilian calisthenics and then kicked his head into the soccer net?
Oh, I do remember that. That was delightful.
That was canon.
Yeah.
All the Juju strolls are real.
Yeah, all the Juju strolls are very real.
Okay, anyway, Geto says, goodbye, I must leave now. I can't stick around to watch you murder all these teens. I'm very busy, man.
Yeah, and Mahito's like, oh, you sure you don't want to watch the deaths of foolish children?
This is my favorite thing to watch, actually, but Geto very busy.
Geto says, nah, I only watch the death of stupid children for the commercials. Mahito's a real head. He loves to see Patrick Mahomes just throw a fucking 80-yarder tutty.
What if Patrick Mahomes threw an 80-yarder tutty, but it was Jogo's head?
Perfect spiral.
Oh, the perfect spiral.
Unbeatable. You are not blocking this man's throw.
Anyway, it's now the time for Junpei to be done being baby, and now he wants power. Mm. So all the kids in the auditorium are passed out, except for the rude large teacher from before and the rude bullying boy. And Junpei comes in, and the teacher's like, what? Junpei, what are you doing here? Do you know what's going on? And Junpei shows his scary burn scars, and he says, "You better be watching then and now."
Yeah.
And it's very important.
Yeah.
And then he goes over to the evil guy, and he poisons him, I guess. Like, you can't see it yet, but he's, like, using his jellyfish.
Yeah, he says, "Did you put that thing in my house?" And the guy's like, "I have no fucking idea. What the fuck are you even talking about, dude?"
Yeah. And then he just, like, gets, like, an injury to his arm that you can't see the origination of, and he, like, starts turning purple on the side, and he just falls over. And Junpei, like, punches him and kicks him a bunch, and he says mean things that are reminiscent of what he said to him when he was bullying him.
He says, "You seem to think you're in position to answer a question with a question," and then just, like, keeps beating the shit out of him. He says, listen, if you lie to me, I've got no way to tell either way, but you deserve this.
And he, like, levitates him. We don't know how he's doing it yet, but he's, like, picking him up, and the sad bully is, like, crying now. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And Junpei epic reverses his line, and he says, "So?"
He just says, "De?"
Because this is what, if you remember before, this is what he said to him.
Uh-huh.
So he's doing epic reverse bullying.
Yeah, reverse bullying technique.
And then Itadori busts in and he says, "Junpei, why are you being twisted?" And now that Itadori is here, we can use the ability to see a curse to see Junpei's epic jellyfish. It's in the OP. Alright, so that's the episode.
Yep.
There's a Juju stroll, but it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, the Juju stroll is just like, I guess, like, this is what everyone else is up to while this is happening.
Yeah,
like,
everyone else, all the other characters that we know and love are, like, very dramatically making dinner or something.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I thought it was funny. It's like whatever they say at the start of a Soul Calibur match.
Sure.
Believe in your power and reach for victory. A hero desires a sword, and a sword desires truth. Power without idea isn't justice. And that's the preview for next week's episode. That's the Juju stroll. It's like a fake preview for the next episode.
Except they're like getting like mushroom ingredients and like cooking on a grill or something.
Yeah, and Kukasaki's just yelling. So we're gonna do the you've still got theories to make, so I'm going to give you your Juju corner for the week right now.
Oh yay. I hope it's the jellyfish.
So today we will learn about Orizuki, aka Moondregs.
Yay!
It's a jellyfish Shikigami summoned by Junpei Yoshino.
It's his friend the jellyfish.
It's his friend the jellyfish. Here's the description. I'm going to read you the entire Wikipedia page for this because it is short. Moondregs is summoned through an unknown medium and takes the form of a large jellyfish with eyes on top of its head and numerous tendrils that hang from underneath its head. To those who can't see curses, Moondregs make it appear as Junpei is able to telepathically lift people and infect them with his poison. The poison takes the form of a deadly rat that burns the victim, similar to the scarring on Junpei's own forehead. I didn't catch that. Moondreg's jellyfish body makes it capable of absorbing punches from even the likes of those with superhuman strength, such as Yuji. Anyone caught in its tentacles will be paralyzed and infected with the toxin. Moondregs can merge its tendrils together to form spikes that can inject the poison directly by stabbing Junpei's target. Even after the effects of the poison are removed, the targeted appendage will be burned, difficult to move.
I have some concerns about this article.
Okay.
The poison is not part of the jellyfish.
Okay.
That's what Mahito said. Mahito said that Junpei's curse technique is poison, and he also has a jellyfish, and he can use those together.
And the jellyfish is the vessel for his poison.
Yeah, the poison is not an ability that the jellyfish has.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I would edit the Wikipedia article if I was in charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we love the jellyfish.
This is our second Shikigami user, Junpei, and oh my. I'm thinking about Junpei, Junpei and Fushiguro hanging out and doing hand signs together.
I would like the jellyfish and the dog to be friends.
Last night when I was waiting for a couple minutes to do anime with Sophie, and I was just doing like puppy hands the entire time.
Do you ever try? I talked about it last night? How you can go from the bird hands right to the puppy hands?
You can go from bird hands to puppy. Let me
do the puppy hand,
okay,
and then just kind of twist it around. Because they both like hinge on the two thumbs together. Yeah.
That's so easy. Oh my god, he's totally gonna do puppy plus bird.
He's gotta make a flying puppy.
He's totally gonna do puppy plus bird.
Because it's so easy. I'm doing it right now. Everyone at home, make sure that you do the puppy hand.
Make sure there will be a test. Make sure you know how to do all Fushiguro's hand signs.
Yeah, do the puppy hand and then just swing that back one right around.
Next episode, To You Someday. We start with we start with like Itadori talking. This is like a bit of a flashback, like right before what happened before Itadori went to the school. He's like talking to Nanami on the phone. Nanami is like back in the sewers again, trying to take care of like all the transfigured humans that are down there, because Mahito has put a lot of transfigured humans down there. And he's with another guy who's wearing a beanie and is like, hey, I don't want to fucking... This seems like a lot of guys here. You're really leaving me to do all this? Plus, they're human.
I'm shaking my head. I hate this guy.
They introduced this guy in the manga. His name is Takuya Ino, but they didn't say it in the anime. I don't know why. He does...
They said Ino. They said Ino-kun. His
okay,
name.
They did say that. But, he's like, bro, I don't want to do this shit. And then Nanami is like, what if I approve your application for grade 1? And Ino is like, let's fucking go. Yeah, let's go, dude.
This brings up a lot of questions to me.
Okay.
I really thought the grades were like based on how good their power was. So the fact that they can just go up a grade by like their performance review is concerning to me. I feel like that might be part of the corruption of Jujutsu Sorcerer Society.
That might be. I think it's also just like a thing of like, hey, you need to prove that you can actually like you don't want someone to be labeled a grade 1 sorcerer if they cannot handle grade 1 curses. They need to be able to show that they can actually do their shit.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It seems like he's a little old to be getting better. I don't know.
Just no respect for Takuya Ino.
I hate this guy.
What?
And I'll tell you
She's
why.
on screen for like 3 seconds.
I'll tell you exactly my reasoning.
Okay, before you say he's too old to grow more, he is 21 years old.
Not important.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. This is a story where clearly many characters will be hurt or possibly perish. If a guy that I don't like dies, then that's a guy that I do like who might not have to die.
Okay.
So if I immediately say, I don't like this guy, he can die to me, then that's like saving someone else, you know? So this man perish, Obama eyes.
This man perish, Fushiguro flourish.
Yes.
Okay, then you just hate him as a strategic move?
Yes.
You know what? I respect the game.
Thank you.
So yeah, this conversation ends and Takuya is like, yeah, let's fucking go. I'll beat the shit out of anyone. All these guys. Nanami, you can go. And then Itadori hangs up and Ichichi's like, hey, dude, like, our job is to help people, and that includes our students. I'm not letting you fucking die again. I let you die on my watch once already, and I feel so goddamn bad about it, dude. And Ichichi's like, please, just stay. And Itadori's like, I'm sorry, dude. I gotta bounce, and just runs past him.
Ichichi is like, oh, this was my greatest regret. I'll never let you hurt yourself again. And he just stands perfectly still while Itadori runs away.
Okay, but like, what the fuck? Like,
at least like grab him or something.
You are just regular Jujutsu sorcerer man who can do window and or who can do veil, and that's about it. Are you gonna be able to fucking physically stop this?
Even if he can't physically do it, he should at least try. Like, he's like, oh, this is the greatest regret of my life that I let this poor boy die. I will do everything I can to stop him. Parentheses, does nothing to stop him. Do something! At least, like, make, like, a tragic action that will make Itadori be like, oh, damn, this is sad.
Uh-huh.
He's a very susceptible boy. If you just stand still, it's not going to do anything.
But Itadori just runs past, and then we go back to the fight that's happening between Itadori and Junpei, and this fight is so fucking good.
They go in a window, out a window, in another window.
Yeah, so we see Junpei calls Moondregs by its name for the first time as he summons it to protect himself from Itadori's big punchy, and it just like absorbs his blow, and then Junpei like slides back like 50 feet, and he says, oh, we slide in.
Yeah, so they've like run away from the auditorium for some reason. They're like in a hallway now.
I think Junpei is just like beating feet, and Itadori's chasing him. I don't know why either.
Yeah.
But Moondregs protects Junpei from Itadori's big punchies. And he's like, don't make me fucking say it again, dude. Get the fuck out of here. This has nothing to do with you. And Itadori says, that's not for you to decide.
Yeah, Junpei is saying a lot of themes at Itadori, and he's not interested.
Yeah, he's saying a lot of, like, yeah, the that's not for you to decide. He says, what's the point of thoughtlessly saving people? In the manga, he says that's not what life is about, but in the anime, he says, don't mistake the value of a life, which are two I'm not sure exactly what the discrete differences in the meaning are, but they are discreetly different to me.
I feel like the anime one is a lot more cohesive, honestly, with the rest of the stuff that he's been saying.
That's true. I'm with you on that one. And he says, if no one can stop me from killing people, rules are fake. In the manga, he says, if someone deserves to die, no one has the right to stop it, which I think is a way. And then says, go take a nap now to Itadori.
Yeah, that one is better than the one in the anime that's like, you should be able to take as many lives as you want, or something.
He says, like, all you compassionate people, it's just fucking lies. You can't make me follow these rules. They're cringe. But I'm gonna do murder. I'm gonna do murder. No one can stop me. If someone deserves to die, you can't fucking stop me.
Yeah, he doesn't say that in the anime. He's like, you should be allowed to take as many lives as you can, and no one should be allowed to stop you, or something.
Yeah, but then he turns around to walk away because Itadori's going to fall asleep from the poison. But then Itadori reaches out from Moondregs's like prison and grabs him by the back of his jacket and says, "Who the fuck are you making excuses to?" And we get a little flashback to Junpei getting his curse technique from Mahito, and it's like, did you see X-Men: Days of Future Past?
Which one is that?
It's the time travel one.
The second one? Or the first one?
The second.
The time travel? I think I did see it in the theater, but I feel like I don't remember.
Do you happen to remember when Shadowcat just like put their hands on either side of Wolverine's head and like made them go back in time? Like, just like...
I think I do remember that, because they were like in a hiding...
Yeah. Elliot Page, go off.
Damn, he went off with
He
it.
did. That's what Mahito is doing to Junpei, except for instead of sending him back in time, he's giving him power of jellyfish.
I did have a question about this. He says, your curse technique is poison. Is he giving him poison, or did he already have poison?
I think he is... I think that he gave him poison, but I also think that, like, Junpei is, like... I think Mahito is, like, this kid would do great with poison. Like, he probably could have been, like... Junpei seems like a guy who would do good with poison.
Because he says, you have talent, which is, like, he had the talent before he gave him anything. He definitely gave him the jellyfish, because he didn't have that before.
Right.
But I feel like maybe he already had the poison and he just didn't have a way to apply it or something.
It's also possible that Mahito is just doing lies and manipulation here.
Yeah, but Junpei definitely had something because he could see Mahito, and Mahito is a curse.
I'm not going to explain why, but I will say that Mahito saying, Junpei, your curse technique is poison, is thematically relevant.
Oh, well, okay. That doesn't really answer the question.
No, it doesn't. I just, while we were on the topic, I just wanted to bring that up. I don't actually know if I have an answer to that question. I think it's a little bit, I think it is ambiguous, because I really don't know. I think the way I read it personally is that Mahito just created this from whole cloth. Like, he, like, the way that I interpreted it as is, like, remember how last time Shoko talked about how the relationship between the brain and Jujutsu is like a black box? Mm-hmm. Like, the way I imagine it is that, like, there is, like, a hidden part of the brain that is just, like, the Jujutsu part of the brain, and normal people can't unlock that part of the brain unless you're born with it, or unless you eat a cursed finger. But, Mahito just said, okay, I'm gonna give you the key to that. Your curse technique is poison!
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Junpei saw Mahito.
Yes.
Before he met Mahito. And Mahito is a curse, so Junpei must have some sort of curse power, right? To see him.
Well, because the guys in the theater didn't see Mahito, they just felt him touch them.
No, and Mahito, when Junpei stops him in the thing, he says, oh, you can see me? He's, like, a little surprised about it.
Yeah, maybe he's like, remember, like, Itadori saw some, like, I think Itadori was able to see, so maybe, yeah, it's like that, where you've got, like, a little bit of cursed juice in you, but not enough to do anything, just enough to see a couple of things.
It's like I always say about My Hero Academia, we already talked about this.
Right.
There are some, like, quirks that I don't know how you could possibly realize you have. So, like...
everyone's quirk is just discovered by that scene from the DC TV show was, where Black Bolt shouts Y at his parents and they explode.
Yeah. Like, how could... You're, like, a 5-year-old, and you're like, oh, if I eat blood, I can transform into you. Like, okay. Maybe they just thought she didn't have a quirk for a while. And that's how I think Junpei is. Like, his curse technique is poison, but, like, how can you administer a poison to someone?
Right.
You know?
And then Mahito's like, I diagnose you with jellyfish.
Yeah. And he also, Mahito does talk about how he, like, accelerates his brain learning, basically. Like, he teaches him how to have already known how to do curse technique better. So I think, like, Junpei had, like, very baby ability of poison and didn't really know about it or how to use it. And then he got given skills in a jellyfish.
Uh-huh.
This is my theory.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry I don't have a more concrete answer for you on it.
Well, I'm glad you don't have a concrete no. So that's just a yes to me, you know?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff still up in the air.
Yeah, they're gonna bring Junpei back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still up in the air about Junpei,
like,
in the manga.
He has been, like, relevant. Like, he is, like, referenced with some frequency.
I would hope so.
Okay. It was a traumatic experience. Well, we haven't gotten to the traumatic experience yet. We're getting there, though.
It was traumatic to see your boyfriend being rude to someone, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Itadori reaches through the jellyfish after this flashback and, like, punches Junpei out a window. And Junpei's like, what the fuck? Why isn't my poison working on him? Do you have any ideas? I know why, but do you have any ideas?
What I thought was that, like, the curse technique requires the, like, evil emotion behind it, and he secretly loves Itadori, so he can't poison him.
Interesting. No comment.
Or it's because Sukuna is like, you can't be touching me with your things.
Yeah, Sukuna says, I will not let these tendrils touch me.
Sukuna said, if I was poisoned, no, I wasn't, heart.
Junpei says, why isn't it working? We already talked about that. Then he says, why are you getting in the way? Why? And he remembers his mom, and, like, there's bloodstains over his mom's face in the slight flashback.
Yeah.
And then Itadori jumps out the window, and Junpei is like, all right, okay, I know how to get this guy now. There's gonna be an opening right before he hits the ground. I'm gonna make my moon dregs do stabby tentacles. But Itadori just, like, slams the long rectangular storage thing that they're fighting on top of, and, like, blows them away with the shockwave. And Itadori is like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Everything you're saying, it sounds good, but you're just trying to convince yourself, and then decks him back into a building, which is pretty good. Then he's like, I don't know why you're doing this, dude. You must have a reason, but is it really worth throwing your life away?
He's like, bro, think about your hot mom. Don't you love your mom?
Yeah,
Aren't you thinking about your mom right now?
Junpei says Itadori says, Junpei says having a heart is a sham, and Itadori says, can you really say something like that to your mother?
What about your mom, bro?
Yeah.
Does your mom not have a heart? Come on.
Junpei is like, I don't know what's right or wrong at this point, dude. If people have hearts, then were my mother and I cursed by people with heart? And he's, like, crying about it.
Junpei's just crying his eyes out. He's just, like, ultimate crying anime character, just, like, sobbing.
I think I understand this, but I need you to explain this to me just to make sure that I'm actually fully grokking this, what he means by being cursed by people with heart.
Oh, it's like I feel like this is a very generic kind of thing to have in your, like, sad media property of, like, if a person had a heart, how could they do this to us, you know?
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I reread these handful of chapters a lot because I have been vain kid about getting to this entire moment for the entire duration of this podcast, pretty much. So it took me a long time to actually, like, grok what was happening. Junpei is just, like, crying his eyes out and is like, that's not fair, dude. But I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. And he, like, sends his needles at Itadori, and Itadori just fucking fully tanks the hit. Does not dodge or anything. Yeah. Just absolutely gets...
Luckily, it was aimed at parts of your body that do not cause immediate death.
Right. It's, like, top right, like, upper right shoulder and, like, mid-waist on the left side. But, I think the way the anime translated this next scene is kind of not great. Itadori is like, hey, dude, I'm sorry I said all that self-imposed shit. Tell me what happened, bro. He says, I promise I won't curse you anymore. But in the manga, he says, sorry, I said all that without knowing what you're going through. But you can talk to me. I promise I won't judge you, Junpei.
Oh.
Which is, I think it's way sweeter in the manga. And then...
I promise I won't curse you anymore is kind of nothing.
Yeah.
But I assumed it was like, I promise I won't do big attacks against you.
Right, which, like, it's good for that, but I just, like, the line of, I promise I won't judge you, Junpei, is so much better. And, like...
Yeah,
and it, like,
that's
in the anime, he says, like, please tell me about what happened. But in the manga, but you can talk to me. Like, that's, like... It is so much... This is so much gayer in the manga to me.
How could they do this to us?
They turned down...
I trusted you to make it gayer, anime.
It's ups and downs. Sometimes they increase the gay, sometimes they get rid of it.
It's very troublesome.
And then there's like a little bit of a time skip just so we don't have to hear Junpei explaining everything that happened to his mom.
It just says, "Whoa, your mom?"
And it's like, dude, your mom. You know what? Okay, no matter, come to Jujutsu High. There are teachers who are crazy strong and friends you can trust. Listen, be my friend, join my squad, and I promise you, we will find the motherfucker who cursed your mother. And then as soon as he says that, Mahito walks down the stairs and like does a big grand entrance.
No, he's ruining everything.
He says we'll punish him. Let's fight together. And at that exact moment, Mahito walks down the stairs.
I do like that he says we'll find the person who cursed your mom, and then oh look who's here.
Yeah,
the person who cursed your mom, perhaps.
Mahito comes down the stairs and it's like, oh hey, it's time to do some trickery.
I must become twisted now.
I must do some botherations. And
Itadori is like, oh, what? Who's this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy? Are you a human? Wait, no, this feels more like a curse than any. Something feels strange.
I love that Mahito has been the villain for like the past 6 episodes and Itadori has not met him.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. He doesn't know him.
I don't know this man.
Yeah. And he says, Mahito says, hajimemashite dane, which I looked it up. The rough translation of this is like, the rough translation of this is like, I guess it's nice to meet you finally, Sukuna's vessel.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. But Mahito makes his arm go Akira mode and like slams Itadori up against the wall when Junpei's like, Mahito, wait! And Itadori is just like pinned to the wall by Mahito's left arm. And Itadori's like, oh my god, of course, yeah, this is the guy that Nanami described.
Nanami literally said a stitch-faced curse that looks like a person.
Right, he's just like, oh my god, Nanami is gonna be so mad at me for not understanding that. And then he's like, Junpei, run, you gotta fucking get out of here. I don't know how you know this guy, but just run, please. And Junpei's like, don't worry, Itadori, Mahito's not a bad purse. Not a bad...
Oh no.
And then he remembered that time that Mahito turned an actual living human being into Big Chungus and made too little.
Oh wait, he was a bad person. Oh no. Oh, I just realized that killing dozens of people is bad. Yeah. Shit. Boy who voted for the turning people into Big Chungus party. Can't believe that I've been turned into Big Chungus.
Mahito is like, hey, dude, you think too much. You overthink things, and this is why you're gonna die. And I think the anime kind of like flattens what he says down a little bit. Mahito is like, Junpei, you're a pretty smart guy, but you overthink things when you should act, which puts you in some pretty bad spots. This is a perfect example. And then the anime, his next line is like, Junpei, all those people you think are stupid, well, you're almost as dumb as they are. But in the manga, he says, well, guess what? You're just as stupid as they are, which is like, yeah, dude, you're not fucking... Just because you're sad doesn't make you special.
Just because you're very good at movie analysis.
And then he says, that's why you're gonna die, and then casts fucking Gambino Jutsu on Junpei, killing him almost instantly.
He, like, pops out of his clothes, which I thought was a bit funny.
Yeah, the manga panel that of this is... I'm gonna send it to you, because it's... This is a manga panel that, like, I turned the page on this, and, like, my heart sank into the floor.
I'm sorry for laughing, Junpei.
It was simultaneously horrifying and kind of funny, but like my heart was in the floor. And Itadori's is also, because he sees this happen. He sees Junpei get idol transfigured and is just so fucking sad about it.
It's quite sad to have your best friend turn into a balloon right in front of you.
your boyfriend. Sometimes your boyfriend just gets
your brand new boyfriend, only been on one date, not even kissed yet, but he has become a big blue creature.
Yeah. And he like the creature Junpei fucked up, starts attacking Itadori, and Itadori just like grabs him by the head and just like holds him, and it's like, I can fix this. Don't worry, I'll fix you. And he calls for Sukuna, and it's like, Sukuna! And then Sukuna comes out and is like pops up on his cheek.
We haven't seen him in so long. when he started talking, I was like, fuck yes, it's my friend.
But he was not doing friend things because he tells...
No, he wasn't.
Itadori's like, dude, can you please heal him like you did? This is just like what you did to my heart. I'll do whatever you want. Please help Junpei. And Mahito is like, yes, my plan is going exactly according to plan. He's going to make the binding vow. But then Sukuna's like, no.
I refuse. Sukuna's like, God, this guy doesn't even remember that we already have a pact, it's funny that Mahito and Geto don't know this, but I can already be in charge whenever I want, so I don't need anything else from you, apparently.
Right, nobody knows about the binding vow that he made with Itadori except for Sukuna. Sukuna's literally the only person who knows.
Even Itadori does not know about the binding vow he made with Sukuna.
Yep, Gojo is suspicious of it, but like he doesn't know. And the little yelling thing that Sukuna does here of like making fun of Itadori, he's like, "Oh, you were gonna give up everything just to save your friend, weren't you? You were gonna do whatever. You were gonna anything I wanted. But you're helpless." But in the manga, he says, "You're mine. Your future and everything you will ever possess. You don't have a say in this. You're helpless." Which is
damn, it's true.
It is. Then there's a mess up in the anime translation because we get like Mahito's inner thoughts, and he says, "Well, reverse curse technique would not have any effect on the soul," but in the manga, it's did he refuse the vow? It's not like he couldn't do something about the shape of the soul by using reverse curse technique. Could it be that Sukuna can't heal others? Which tells me that Sukuna could heal the soul of if Mahito was able to transfigure Itadori, Sukuna would be able to reverse it. But he can't do it to others. But in the anime, they mistranslate it as, well, he can't. I guess he can't undo my transfiguration.
Oh yeah, I was kind of confused about that.
Yeah, no, it was just a missed, probably just a missed, like it's a double negative. They missed one of the double negatives. So now it's a single negative.
Okay.
But Mahito's like, well, this isn't exactly what I planned, but that's fine. My objective is what comes next, so we will now, George of the Jungle, this is the part of the movie where we tilt our heads back and laugh, ha 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 ha, and, we get...
Haha, your friend died.
It was really nice in this anime to, like, illustrate what it's like when you make a typo in the group chat and everyone just repeats the typo back to you.
Oh, your friend died? Was the Grink there?
And it's Mahito and Sukuna both laughing, and we see Sukuna parentheses real laughing, but also Sukuna's little face is the actual thing that's laughing.
They're both laughing.
And Itadori is just like surrounded by this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot. These guys are just curses. They always will be." And then he's like snapped out of it by Junpei as a fucked up transfigured human dying and saying, "Yuji, why?" And like he's crying, and then he just falls over dead. So Itadori has like a mental image suddenly of Junpei hanging out with the rest of them, like with the rest of the squad. Like it was him, Fushiguro, Kugasaki, and Junpei all hanging out together. And like,
what if they were all friends?
Literally, the title of this chapter in the manga is called "What If."
Damn, what if
the cover art for this chapter is that image of the four of them.
Damn, they're all friends. Me buying this new chapter. Oh, I'm so happy that they're all going to be friends.
But
wait a second.
And then Mahito makes a silly face and is like, "Oh, already dead? My bad. I guess I did it. I guess I was a little rough on him." And then Itadori just fucking punches him square in the face.
Itadori mad.
Yeah. He gets punched so hard that he goes up a flight of stairs, and he's like, "Oh, nice hit. Too bad that won't work on me. As long as my soul retains its shape." And then he starts bleeding because he actually did get hit, and because Itadori hit his soul.
I don't know why he has blood. I don't agree with this.
He's just got some.
I don't think that he has or should have blood. What's he doing with all that blood? He's not eating.
Criminal activities.
He's not breathing. Why does he have blood?
Listen, sometimes, sometimes.
Gege Akutami, get back to me on why a curse have blood. He doesn't need it.
Yeah. Jogo had, like, some purple blood, right? Remember?
Yeah, he had purple, which, if it's a funny color, then that's better for me.
But you can't handle the curse. You can't handle the curse born out of misanthropy. You can't handle that curse having regular human blood.
No, I don't like it. He needs to have like some sort of like cursed goo.
So it should be yellow. He should be bleeding piss.
It just whatever. It's fine.
I don't need a reason for him to have blood. He has blood. Jogo had blood. He has blood.
Not really.
Hanami will have blood, probably.
I think Hanami should definitely not have blood. He should have like sap.
That's basically blood. Sap is tree blood.
Kind of.
But so Mahito is really caught off guard by the fact that he actually got hit by Itadori. And he's like, oh, well, I guess this makes sense. Like, Itadori, there's another person living in his body, so he's learned to understand the shape of the soul. In the manga, it's specifically... What's that?
I don't agree with this part either. This is another, like, bullshit anime reasoning thing that I don't like. It doesn't make sense.
He can perceive the contours of the soul. He shares a body. I'm willing to... I just let Gege run with it, honestly. I'm just like, I read this and I'm like, sure, yeah, listen... I don't know what it's like to share my body with another soul. So if Gege tells me that if sharing my body with another soul allows me to understand the contours of the soul, hey, listen, he says it. I agree with him. I'm smiling and nodding.
This like will conflict with another thing later, but let's continue.
Okay, I'm curious to get to that. But Itadori is like, it's like everything I've said up until now was a complete lie. The words came from so deep inside of me that it just undid everything. And he says, I'm gonna kill you. And then we get our mid card. And do you ever love someone so dearly that their death undoes your entire like morality on murder?
I mean, he's not really a person, so I don't think it's a problem. I
mean, he's enough of a person for Itadori to feel like. I think he's enough of a person to like he.
They do make the distinction where Mahito is like, oh, don't you mean exorcise me, little Jujutsu sorcerer?
Right. But like, even if we're doing semantics here, I don't think this is like a thing Itadori would split hairs over. I think like Itadori from last episode would not have said something like this without the death of Junpei.
Yeah, true.
But what happens next?
Mahito does a lot more licking, which I was told was not his thing, but now he's doing this again.
He is doing it a lot. I did not remember him doing it this much in the manga, but I was simply misremembering. It's entirely possible. It happens all the time. But yeah, we get back from the eye catch, and Mahito is like, "Don't you exorcise me, Jujutsu sorcerer?" And Itadori, well, no, we see dead Junpei fully cheeked up on the floor of the hallway.
So sad that he died making a clap on Instagram.
Like, his ass is just all the way out.
Yeah, but there's nothing else. He's only ass. He's got no front bits.
He's just all of his power was diverted to the ass. That's why his technique is poison, because he's got that farty ass.
I see.
I'm sorry that I said Junpei has that farty ass.
You should apologize one more time.
I'm sorry that I said Junpei has a farty ass.
All right, you can now continue.
I've done my whatever the fuck. I've done my Lord's prayers.
Yes.
Mahito's like, Itadori has no regard for his own life, and Geto has told me don't force him into a binding vow with a hostage situation.
That's not... He didn't say Geto has told me. He said Geto forbade me.
Interesting. That's also a different translation from the manga, which is that just the Geto doesn't want him doing that.
Interesting.
Making me think. I'm curious if this is like... I'm really curious if this is just like suboptimal translation, or if this is Gege like jumping back and being like, I want to sculpt this line a little bit more for future implications. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Interesting. Anyways, he's like, hey, maybe if I'm strong enough, I'll make him think that he has to use Sukuna. And then if Junpei's death wasn't enough to make him angry, I will just transfigure every single student in the school right in front of him until he
there are more children for me to turn into balloons and stuff.
Yeah. He's like,
but he's like, oh, we're a bad matchup. This is a bad matchup for me. This is like a 2080 at best.
Yeah, why is he my natural enemy? And the way this is in the manga is weird, because it's just like, he doesn't say, why are you my natural enemy? It just says, it just has like the same text that they use for whenever someone uses a curse technique. It just says mortal enemy over Itadori's face, which is pretty good.
Because he's going to kill him.
But Mahito's like, well, this is all a great plan, but this is assuming that I'm stronger than him. So let's just get fighting. And they fight. Mahito grows wings and does Car's ultimate life form shit and runs away. They both like pause for a minute and they have a realization that they're like, okay, well, I can't keep going for grabs and throws on this. And Mahito's like, I can't get bigger to give him a bigger target. Itadori says, well, in that case, no matter how many times it takes, I will hit this man a bajillion times. I'm gonna fucking beat his ass. But then Mahito's like, I need a form designed to kill, a machine designed only for killing type beat. And he turns his arm into a bunch of like razor, like it's like Ivy from Soul Calibur, her whip.
Yeah, I didn't really know what this device was. I assumed it was like some sort of Japanese traditional murder device.
I think the way that it is used, it literally just looks like the sword that Ivy has in Soul Calibur, except for like 4 of them.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of whips or something,
yeah.
But it also looks like razors, blades. I don't
know. And then Itadori gets knocked out the window by that, and then Sukuna stands there and turns his arm into a drill and blasts it at Itadori. Itadori dodges it, and grabs the, Mahito is not able to like separate this drill from him. So like there's still like a Mahito rope that is connecting the drill to Mahito. Itadori grabs it and is like, all right, I'll just fucking do this shit. And then Mahito does a smirk and makes spikes come out of his rope where Itadori's grabbing him and puts the holes in his hands. And Itadori's like, okay, now I just got you just gave me a stronger grip, bro. And like hauls him out the window and slams him into the ground. It rules.
Yeah. And Mahito says, most people would have liked
that. Thankfully, Itadori is not most people.
I do not have brain in my head.
So Itadori goes in for a big hit, but Mahito smiles and makes spikes come out of his tummy, and stabs Itadori in the chest. And he tries to transfigure Itadori with Idol Transfiguration. He's like, you can't beat me. Hurry up and switch with Sukuna. But then he enters Sukuna's mind palace. And Sukuna's like, you trying to touch my soul? Dude, you are not... Well, I guess since it was epic when we laughed at that brat's friend dying, that was pretty cool. So I'm going to let you...
That was so funny, bro. Bro, remember when we were both making fun of the teenager whose boyfriend died in front of him?
That was good. So I'll let you off with a warning this time, but don't come in here again. Know your place. And Junichi Suabe turns up the fucking heat and it just says, know your place, fool. And I am experiencing
He's very sexual toward everyone.
Lot of sexual men in these 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's my thing about this
Sure.
part. So Mahito says that Itadori has 2 souls, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them is Itadori's soul and one of them is Sukuna's soul. So why is touching Itadori touching Sukuna's soul?
I think that I don't think it's that exactly that, but I think it's that like an attempt to touch one of the souls touches both of the souls. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Like, it makes sense, but only if the other thing isn't true, where like you're aware of the outline of your soul, like the 2 souls are separated.
Maybe this was Mahito trying to force Sukuna out, and he was actually like trying to touch Sukuna's soul here, but then Sukuna was like, you're touching my soul? You're trying to force that?
Okay,
I think that's what the Idol Transfiguration was supposed to be. He was trying to like force Sukuna to come out.
But then that would imply that the thing Nanami says later, where the Idol Transfiguration doesn't work on Itadori, isn't true. Like, I could see it like possibly being like sort of like what Nanami did, where like because he's so aware of his own soul, it can't be transfigured because he has a guy that lives in him. So he's like, well, this is my soul and not the other guy.
Yeah, that might be it.
But then it's like 2 different explanations at the same time, which is kind of annoying.
It is. I think these things hard. I think this hardens up later on, but this is still.
I mean, I'm willing to take like just anime wiping it under the rug reasons, but I don't know. I would like it to be a little more confirmed.
What's interesting about this to me is that Itadori seems completely unaware of the fact of what just happened, because Mahito comes back to his senses and Itadori's like, "Didn't you hear what I just said? I'm not gonna change. I am going to kill you, bro."
Yeah.
And it's good.
Well, Itadori wasn't in the skull dimension. How could he know?
Right, but like I would have expected him to feel like at least like I don't know, like the vibes of someone else like mucking around in the soul inside of his body.
Yeah, that's just I don't know. He claims to be aware of the outline of his soul, doesn't even know.
I think maybe this is Mahito. Or maybe this is Mahito doing the same overthinking that he accused Junpei of doing.
Yeah, I think Mahito is a bit wrong on this.
Yeah, it's I think it's entirely possible that we are just taking Mahito at his face of knowing everything when he might not actually know everything.
Yeah, because like when Mahito is like, oh, he's so aware of the outline of his soul, that's why he can punch my soul. I'm like, Itadori has never thought about a thing while punching in his life.
That's so true. But then, so Itadori's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then just headbutts him 6 billion times.
Yeah, and then there's like a yucky panel of his messed up face, which I assume was like taken directly from the manga.
Yeah, Itadori I'm looking at the panel right now. Itadori's like, all right, I'm gonna kick you and finish this once and for all and going for the final blow. But then Mahito did worm things and got out from in front of him. And turned his hand into a mace and is about to kill Itadori with it. But then Nanami shows up and cuts his hand off.
A sexual father arrives to save the day.
We love him.
Yet again. More questions about this. How did Nanami get in the veil?
Hold on, I gotta pull up the actual quote from Mahito when he makes the veil.
Mahito said that the only people who can get in are those with weak curse power.
Let me...
So, does Nanami have weak curse power? I guess because it's not after hours.
Okay, in the manga he says can't get in, can get out, but this only applies to humans with weak cursed energy. So I think that's supposed to say that like this barrier can this can.
Oh, they said it in the opposite order in the.
Yeah, another translation thing. I think. This only applies to humans with weak cursed energy. So like this barrier is only effective against those who have, because this is like the first time Mahito has done a barrier. It's only effective for people who do not have much cursed energy.
Oh. Okay.
So Nanami was able to just stroll right through and go sicko mode.
Oh, I thought he was like trying to keep out like adult jujutsu sorcerers on purpose.
No, because he says like he says a curtain without prior announcement. Geto says a curtain without prior announcement will certainly be reported by the windows immediately. I hope you get what you want. And I think that's just to be like, you don't have a lot of time for this one, man. You gotta fucking hustle. There's gonna be the alarm's gonna go up in a minute, dude. Nanami says, I'll lecture you later. What's up? And Itadori's like, there were 2 people that I couldn't save. And Junpei is the other person that he's talking about Junpei's mom?
I think he means the poisoned guy.
Did he die?
He was poisoned.
I mean, people get poisoned without dying all the time.
He seemed extremely dead to me.
Maybe so. Nanami is like, okay, dude, but what about you? And Itadori's like, I'm full of holes, but otherwise I'm doing fine. And
Nanami says that's not fine.
Yeah, in the manga, Itadori's like, I couldn't save Junpei and his mom. So in the manga it is explicit that that the people he's busted up about are Junpei and his mother, and Nanami is like, well, he's always thinking of others. Everyone else comes first. And how are you? Itadori says, I'm fine. Just got some holes in me. And Nanami is like, fine.
Not fine.
But a bunch of students,
12 discrete holes in you.
A bunch of students and teachers are taking a big nappy in the gym right now. And Mahito says, "You're looking good, 7-3 hairstyle sorcerer," in the manga. I don't know where the hairstyle comes from, but he does have the hairstyle.
He's got the style.
Like, everyone in this show, every character in the show has such a distinct hairstyle that to call one of them a hairstyle person is really funny to me.
Nanami's hairstyle looks like he works at it the most, I would say.
That's true. I think Fushiguro probably prunes a lot.
Yeah, but he's like going for the like casual, like, oh, I didn't even try, but I tried.
Yeah, I get you. But he's like, hey, I'm glad we're both okay. How about a hug, dude? And then Nanami's like, wait, dude, why is his nose bleeding? And Ichiro's like, oh yeah, I hit him. Did you get touched? Yeah, she touched me. And then Nanami's like...
Itadori says, oh yeah, I also thought it was weird that he was a curse with blood. What's up with that?
He said, well, this stuff should be purple or yellow or something. Then it would be more believable.
That's what he said.
Nanami's like, yeah, my attacks don't affect him, but let's just barrage him with blows. And then Nanami thinks to himself, well, either his attacks don't work on Itadori, or he has a reason not to kill him. Either way, let's just beat the shit out of him. And then they say, all right, let's exercise this guy right here, right now. And Itadori says, I got it. And that's the end of the episode.
Wow. The end of the episode. And there will be no more episodes after that. This Juju Stroll is just a little bit silly.
The Juju Stroll is silly.
But
there's like 3 transfigured humans playing with
Oh, you thought they were transfigured humans?
That's what I took them as, yeah.
Oh, they just looked like the funny little
Oh, they look like fly heads too?
Like
yeah. Okay, maybe that's what they are. They're playing with like a little I'm trying to think of a game that's like analogous to this.
It's Pop-Up Pirate. That's what it's called. It's Pop-Up Pirate.
This is a thing?
Yes.
What? Pop-Up Pirate? This is a thing? Oh shit! Damn, they're playing Pop-Up Pirate.
It's Pop-Up Pirate.
And when it explodes, when it goes off, they all run away, and it's funny. It's cute.
It's cute, yeah. I liked the little guys.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so after this Juju Stroll, there's like a next time on thing, and it has like scenes and stuff. So is there an episode next week?
I think there's going to be uninterrupted.
Oh, the core is starting. But wait, it said that the second core was in January.
I think they're airing this as an imbalanced core, an imbalanced season, 13 episodes for the first core and 11 for the second.
So there will be an episode next
I
week.
think so. Like all the websites I'm seeing say yes, there's an episode next week, but I will not. I do not take my word on this. If I am wrong, I apologize. I'm sorry I posted cringe.
If I'm wrong, no, I wasn't.
And now we're gonna go to Kay's Theory Corner. We're gonna play some interesting no comment.
Okay, so there were some things announced for the second core, and one of them was what did they call it? Like
the promotional image.
Release the promotional image for the Kyoto Goodwill arc, and in it we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 little friends. And there's 6 from each team. And of course, we know the ones who are from Jujutsu Tech.
Yep.
We see Itadori, Fushiguro, Inumaki, Normal Maki, Panda, and Kugasaki. Mm-hmm. That's the order they're in, which is a little fucked up that Kugasaki is last, but what can you do?
Kugasaki gets to do some shit this season. I don't want you to think that that's representative of what she gets to do this next arc. She gets to do some cool shit.
Okay. Now on the other side, the Kyoto school, we have Toto, we know him. And then we have some sort of like hemomancer, who we don't know, but he looks fun. We have Mai, who is the sister that we met.
Yep.
We have some sort of robot type man shooting a blast, perhaps. We have Miwa, we know her.
We love her.
And then we have a Kiki's Delivery Service. There's a girl on a broom, and she has broom hair also.
She's good.
And now I will just say everything I think about these characters from this image. The first thing is something I already posted in the Discord about how Fushiguro is doing a brand new hand signal here that we have not seen before. Of course, we have seen. I'm gonna do them along with everyone. Do them along with me. We've seen dog.
I know dog.
We've seen bird.
I know bird.
We've seen frog.
I don't know how to do frog off the top of my head.
Frog is just circle. Like you put your 2 thumbs at the top together and then all your other fingers at the bottom together, and that's frog.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
And then snake is just you make like a chompy hand with one hand.
Yes.
These are the ones we've seen. But the one that Fushiguro is doing in this art is like you make like a let's go Rams or whatever. the 2 fingers up, and then you put that like horizontal, and then you put your other hand on top of it, like kind of like a little curve on top. And this is the creature that you've made.
And Kay, what does that creature look like to you?
I think it's an elephant. I did a lot of research about this, which was I turned off all the lights in my room and I turned on the flashlight on my phone, and I made this a shadow puppet and I turned it in every direction, and I think that it's an elephant.
Okay.
Like the 2 up fingers are the tusks, and then like the bottom fingers are the trunk. It actually looked pretty good. I was like, damn, this is a bit of an elephant to me. So I do think that Fushiguro will be summoning a large elephant.
All right.
And I think that we'll like to see it.
Any other theories?
The rest of the characters that we already know aren't really doing anything particularly interesting or special. Maki has like a fancy staff, I guess, that we probably haven't seen before. And Kugasaki has her voodoo doll, but we've seen her do this before. Interesting on the other side. So here are my predictions about the characters that we don't know. The Kiki's Delivery Service girl, I'm worried that we're going to see her underwear because she is on a broom and you can like see a lot of thigh in this picture. So I do think we'll probably see her underwear and we probably won't like it.
Personally speaking, I do not recall seeing her underwear. Now, granted, I am constantly saying I do not see it when she does, when anime and manga do look at sexy underwear, but I have not seen it.
Otherwise, she seems nice. She seems like she has a nice personality. She's very blonde, and she has, like, blue eyes in this, so maybe she's, like, a transfer student from the West, perhaps.
That'd be pretty good.
Which is how anime likes to do white people.
Yeah. You see what Miwa's got in her hands?
Miwa has a big sword, which we're very excited about. Miwa has a katana.
When Miwa pulls out her big sword, I'm gonna pop huge.
I'm popping huge just looking at it.
Right.
So I guess we don't know anything about her abilities, but since she's, like, the guard of the old man, I would assume she's from, like, a fancy family of like special techniques. So I do think that she'll have some sort of power.
Can I give you
not like the twins?
Can I give you a contextless spoiler for something?
I guess.
Just a fun phrase that I want to say.
Okay.
Kugasaki smacks someone in the head with her hammer.
Well, that's fine. She did that to the panda. She should do it again.
Yeah, she just kills Panda as soon as the 6v6 starts.
It's good. Okay, next there's a robot. And I do think that this is cheating to have a robot on your team, but I guess the other team has a panda, so they're gonna have to let it slide. Mm. I can't really, like, discern a lot of information about this robot. He has, like, a ribbon tied around him, which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I guess I am assuming that it's a man, just because it has, like, the traditional male outfit.
Yeah, you're correct. I'll tell you that one.
Maybe... I'm just not getting a lot of vibes from the robot. I'm not interested in him yet, but I guess we'll see.
I will say, this is not like a particularly high... I guess this is not like a super high bar to clear, but I am enjoying the fact that almost half of the characters on this poster are women.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
5 out of 7? I mean, or 5 out of 12?
Yeah, if the friend team had one more girl, it would be even.
But listen, Inumaki... Listen, let's let Inumaki get some hormones.
Inumaki has, like, very pretty eyelashes in this. And I mean, so does Fushiguro.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have Mai. We already know her, but what's interesting in this is she is wearing, like a normal school uniform.
Yeah.
Like the uniform for Jujutsu Tech, even though the rest of her team is, like, not wearing that.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was a little weird, because she was very distinctly not wearing that when we met her, because Kugasaki wanted her outfit. And then there's this brand new guy who is, like, summoning a blood spiral. I assume it's a blood spiral. It looks like blood to me. He's, like, some sort of, like, hemomancer kind of thing. I think that he looks like Geto. So I think that there will be something there.
Okay.
Because don't you think he looks like him? Because he has, like, kind of the same...
He does a little bit, yeah.
Like, face and eyes. Like, the eyes specifically.
Yeah, I can see where... Yeah, I see what you mean.
It does seem like magic techniques are, like, passed between families. So if, like, Geto has become evil, apparently you would, like, assume that he was good at some point. So maybe this is, like, part of his family.
Yeah, he fucked while he was good, and then...
Or, like, a brother or something.
I like how Mai is just, like, throwing all of her bullets away. Like,
yeah,
I know I know those are shell casings, but I'm still just imagining Mai saying, okay, watch me do this shit, and unloading her entire gun.
And another point to this blood man being perhaps related to Geto is, like, having a magic ability of blood is, like, a fairly evil thing to have.
I would say that.
So, if you were, like, an evil cursed man who went to join the curses and your power was blood, it would make sense.
Is this the first time you're seeing Kugasaki with her jacket open like this?
No, she opened it in the episode when she used that
Okay,
thing.
You're right.
And then the final friend is Toto. We know him.
Yeah.
Last time we saw him, he was being very rude to Fushiguro. But here, he's looking at Itadori and he's not seeming mad at him, which I'm interested in. Because, like, if he was, like, crying or, like, mad face, but he's like, oh, this will be a fun fight. And he has only said that about his friends who have funny fetishes. So I'm interested in Itadori telling him that he loves big booty white bitches and seeing what Todo will say to that.
Damn, Itadori does just love to say, I love big booty white bitches.
And Todo is just gonna, like, prostrate himself on the floor and say, yes, yes, you are the rival I've been searching for my whole life. And that's my predictions for the next season.
All right.
I don't know what's gonna happen with this Mahito fight, but that's not important anymore.
Yeah, the Mahito fight is no longer my friend. Now my best friend is Todo Itadori punching moments.
Damn, you love thick bitches too?
All right, we got some questions. So we have questions. We slide in at Royal Batty says, if Junpei went to Juju Tech, what would his relationship with the other first years be like? I think Kugisaki would take him shopping, and I think Fushiguro and him would bond over having spirit pets.
I do think that he would get along with Fushiguro because they're both kind of a bit gloomy. But
they're both they're two Sasuke's.
Want to be love. Oh my god! What if two Sasuke's? And they do both have pets. I would love to see the jellyfish and the dog be friends. I think that Kugisaki would do another, like, rude appraisal of him and be like, damn, this guy's so stuck up. But they would get along eventually, just like she gets along with Itadori and Fushiguro.
Right, it would just take a minute or two.
Yeah.
Bingus Hoot...
And of course, Junpei and Itadori would be dating.
Yeah, of course. Bingus Hooters at Anti-Traction has asked, we saw Mahito turn into a worm, nude, bad. What animal would it be good to see him become a nude one of?
Well, all animals are nude, traditionally.
Yes. Though I am really enjoying the idea of Mahito as, like, just a dog in, like, one of those puppy sweaters.
Oh. Like an animal that he could become for a purpose, or just for
fun?
Oh, damn.
I'm trying to think of animals that I want to see Mahito as. I don't want to see him as animals. I want to see him as, like, personas of certain animals. I don't want to see him as any of the animals.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it was fun when he had deer feet, and it was fun when he had wing arms.
Yeah, but when he was just a full-on worm, not for me.
The worm was troubling.
Speaking of worm...
Because it still had the hair.
Speaking of worm, Ognian at Slitherbite asks, Worm Mode Mahito reminds me of the Fluke Man from the X-Files, because they're both bad to look at. Which horror movie monsters would Mahito like, because they're super fucked up? I think Mahito would be a big fan of Michael Myers of Halloween fame.
Michael Myers. Well, he canonically went to go watch Human Earthworm.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like Human Centipede.
Yeah, he would love Human Centipede. He would love seeing the...
He thinks that movie is so fucking funny.
Mahito sees that as like, oh damn, I gotta stitch the people's mouths to some other people's buttholes and make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Mahito goes to see Tusk and he's like, damn, I wish I thought of this one.
Worst possible animal for Mahito to shapeshift into would definitely be walrus.
Do not do this thing.
One bad spook and she do what I zoinky at Groove and Ghastly. Do you think Cars and Mahito would be friends?
No.
Me neither.
Cars, like, he values life, and Mahito traditionally does not.
That's true.
They're like the exact opposite in morals, actually.
Yep.
But they do both have wing arms.
Stephen Moore at Marshmallow has two questions. What would everyone bring for a Jujutsu High movie night? Junpei's rolling up with Human Earthworm too.
He's bringing, like, foreign films that no one likes.
Right.
They're all so fucking mad at him for these fucking shitty movies. And Itadori is like, no, you have to support my boyfriend in his fucking shitty movies, even though he falls asleep 20 minutes in.
Yeah. I could see... Maybe, like... I want someone to bring The Secret Life of Kells, but I don't know who that would be.
Wait, is it what movie they're bringing or we're bringing?
What movie they were bringing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I assume the question is. All right, what movie would you bring for a Jujutsu High movie night? I think the movie that I would bring is definitely Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, like a funny movie.
Like a funny movie, but also a horror movie.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe you would want to bring to these children.
Scream. It's Scream. The answer's Scream.
Wait, no, but hasn't, like, Junpei technically seen those? Like, he's seen, like, the version of them that exists in this world, right?
Probably, but, like, that... Hey, listen, I've seen Scream, like, 8 times. I will still watch Scream if you offer it to me.
Yeah, actually, the play for this is to make sure you pick a movie that Junpei likes, because if you don't, he'll just be talking the whole movie about how shitty it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the play.
That is the play. Lastly, at Marshmallow asks, what does it even mean to be someone who doesn't look good with green onions? I don't know, but I'm trying to live my life as a bitch who does not look good with green onions.
Well, like, she's wearing, like, leather pants, right? Like, she wants to be, like, a not... Like, to look good with green onion is to, like, look like a mom, right? To be, like, just, like, a capital M mom character. And Junpei's mom wants to be, like, sexy MILF mom. And, like, not, like, a homemaker, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would think it was getting at.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to live my life like that, though. Listen, I'm just a bitch who doesn't look good with green onions. I need to buy some leather pants.
Yeah, that's the next step.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of Special Grade and Snacks. Thank you so much for listening. If it turns out that there is a break in episodes, we will post about what the schedule's looking like. So, keep an eye on the feed. Mm-hmm. We're at, Special Grade Snacks. That's special grade with no vowels, and then snacks, SNAX. I thank you very much to Agnan. Find them on Twitter at Kalolifairart for doing our incredible podcast art, and thank you to Noah Geist for our intro and outro music, Lost in the Bug Snacks. It fucking bangs. I'm gonna be so sad to say goodbye to Lost in Paradise. Thank you, Matt, GameCube, and Noisepace.xyz, where this podcast is so graciously hosted. We love you. We love it. I finally just listened to the first episode of Kyle XY, the podcast that our friends Jordan and Sam are doing about Kyle XY, the TV show from the 2000s that everyone remembers. It's a good show. The podcast, not the TV show. I don't know anything about the TV show.
I can't vouch for the TV show.
Yeah.
I did like the podcast, though.
Yeah, it's good. And I think that's going to do it. So, let's go get some snacks.
Let's go get some snacks.
On Snack Tooth Island, they did find a tasty quest to fill the hole that many feel